started playing bass 10 years ago when me and two friends spent a whole summer listening to nothing but Blink-182 and decided, let's start a band. Their parents bought them each a drum kit and a guitar, so I was left with a bass. I didn't have a bass, so I started on a rusty old acoustic guitar. I started jamming along to Blink-182 tracks, but in my own time I started listening to stuff from the idea of One Step Beyond soundtrack. Mainly one song that really influenced me was My Michelle by Guns N' Roses, and I really liked the way Duff McKagan played. When I finally got my bass, all I started learning was the Appetite for Destruction album, and Duff became my icon, my main influence for playing these past 10 years. Me and my two friends never actually became a band because we went off to separate colleges, but in the college I went to I started hanging around with a band called Equilibrium. Now when their bassist left, they asked me to join. I was with them for about a year before breaking off and starting my own band called Pretty Tied Up, which was more of a rock and roll, more pop rock influenced band, and that carried on for 4 years. During that time I was also in a more straight up rock and roll band like Neil Dolls with a guy called Chris Neal, and I was playing off with him. That ended about the same time Pretty Tied Up came to an end, and I joined a band called Scarlet Trip, which was a sleaze punk rock band. That didn't do much, but I stayed in them for 2 years, and that finally fell apart, and I joined a tech metal band called Melita Smiles. This is the most successful band I'd ever been in, getting a lot of recognition around the Midlands area. That soon fell apart after about 2 years as well, and then I ended up in a band with the drummer who was previously in Scarlet Trip and Pretty Tied Up called Internal Conflict, who I am currently with. The best gig was with Melita Smiles when we did the EP launch at the Soundhouse in Leicester. At that point we had a huge fan base and we knew practically everyone at the gig. They were all friends, so really good atmosphere. The show went really well as well. More like a big party than playing in front of randomers, and the people that we didn't know soon got involved afterwards and became great friends with them as well. What I'm hoping for in the future with my current band Internal Conflict is to make it big. Well, I'll be content supporting my favourite bands, just making a living on touring. I'll be a happy man.